In this tutorial, we are going to learn like operator in SQL. Here you can see a dummy table on your screen. Now I want to extract those students whose names start with S. And you can see then it's written this kind of table. It's written Smith and Sophia because their names start with S. And if you want to extract result like this, then you need to use like operator, where name like inside the double quotes S module sign. It's mean our word start with S and we don't know how many characters will come after that. It may be 0, maybe 1 or maybe multiple characters. You can see we use modular sign. Similarly, we have more characters and we called it Wildcard Character. And basically we use two characters, percentage and underscore. Percentage mean it represents 0 character, 1 character or multiple character, and underscore represent a single character. And I'm going to show you some examples of our pattern. If I type like a person, then it's going to find any value that start with A. Similarly, if I type percentage A, it's find any value that ends with A. Then if I type percentage or percentage, it's find any value that have or in any position. And if I type underscore r percentage, it's mean finds any value that have r in second position. And if we type a underscore percentage, it finds any values that start with a and are at last 2 characters in length. But if I use a underscore percentage, it finds any values that start with a and are at last 3 character in length. Just one thing remember, underscore mean 1 character and percentage mean any character, could be 1 character or multiple character. And if we type a percentage o, find any values that start with a and end with o. And if we type underscore oy, it's going to find those words where o in the second and y in the third position. Let's see how we can use like operator with our syntax. First we need to type select keyword, then our column's name from table name. Then we need to use where clause. Column, after where we need to create a condition. Column like operator, and then we can create any pattern as we want to search in our column. Also we can use this like operator with not operator, something like that. Just we need to use not keyword before the like keyword. So it's going to return all the answers opposite of this pattern. So let's start the practical and try to understand how we can use like operator with different patterns. Hey, I'm back to my MySQL Workbench application and I also open XAMPP control panel. First I'm going to start Apache server and then I'm going to start MySQL, and we need to wait for green signal. First we need to create the connection. So I'm going to hover over the connection name and double click on it. Here our software is open and you can see my SQL editor. And we already create 2 tables, personal and person. If I show you my personal table, you can see we have 4 records in our table. And if I show you another table, person, you can see we also have 4 records. So from my personal table, I want to find those students whose name start with A. For that we need to type select star from personal, means our table name. Then we need to use where clause and we need to provide column name. And then I'm going to use like operator and I'm going to use quotations because our name column data type is varchar. So I'm going to find those students whose name start with A, percentage sign. This means A should be in the beginning and what remains after that will not matter. If I execute this code, you can see we get 2 results, Advan and Anna. Not only that, we can use multiple character at once. If I type ADW, I want to see ADW out of all the students out there. If I execute this code, you can see we get only 1 record, Advan. And if I want to find such a record, it is not here, so I'm going to add another W. And if I execute this code, it's going to return blank. And now I'm going to use double percentage sign Inside the double percentage sign, I'm going to type double N. This means if these two character comes in between the name, then show us that name. It doesn't matter if it stays in the starting or stays in the end or stays in the middle. If I execute this code, you can see it return one student, Anna. And now I want to see those students whose name start with A and S. For this, first I'm going to type A percentage and then I'm going to use OR operator, or name like inside the quotation S percentage. If I execute this code, you can see it's written 3 students, Advan, Anna and Susmita. We can use NOT operator with that. So I'm going to remove this section and I type where name not like our pattern. If I execute this code, you can see it's written all the students who are not matched with this pattern. You can see it written Susmita and Rahul, but it don't written Advan and Anna because their names start with A. Let me show you another operator, name binary. To execute this query, I'm going to open our another table, name persons, and I'm going to remove this not keyword. Where name like small s, I want to show those students whose name starting with small s, not capital S. In that case, we need to use binary keyword. Where binary name like small s. If I execute this code, you can see it's written 2 students, Smith and Susmita, because their names start with small s. Let me prove it with another way. You know, in our table there is a student named Rahul and his name start with capital R. But now I'm going to use small r. And if I execute this code, you can see it's written blank. Because we use binary keyword, so it's going to return specify character type results. And once again, if I use S, you can see it's written Susmita and Smith. But if I use capital R, now it's going to return Rahul because his name is start with capital R. Let me show you another example. So I'm going to remove binary keyword and I'm going to use percentage sign before the character and I type N. It's mean I want to see those students whose name end with N. If I execute this code, you can see it's written one student, name Advan. Similarly, we can search 2 characters at once. So I'm going to type TA and execute the code and you can see it returned Susmita. And now I'm going to show you another example. I'm going to type R percentage L. This line mean R will come beginning of the word and L will be in the last. There can be multiple characters between these 2 characters. If I execute this code, you can see it's written Rahul because his name start with R and end with L. And now I'm going to show you how can we use underscore operator. For this example, I'm going to type underscore US percentage. It's mean the word starting with 3 character. U is our second character and S is our third character, but we don't know the first character. If I execute this code, you can see it written Susmita. And now I'm going to use underscore 2 times. Underscore H. It's mean it start with 3 character and we don't know the first 2 character and our third character should be H. So it's going to return those students whose third character is H. If I execute this code, you can see it written Rahul. We can use underscore between 2 characters. Let me show you. S underscore I. And if I execute this code, it's written Smith because our character start with S and we don't know our second character and our third character is I. So this pattern match with Smith. So as a result, it's written Smith. I hope now it's clear for you how we can use like operator with patterns. Thanks for watching this video. See you in the next tutorial.